Well, merry happy everybody. Hey, dang, I just saw one of my lights is off. It's like dark in here. Wow. Let me push buttons. Let me fix it. Look, I'm brighter. Whatever. Anyhow, yeah, there's like four of us here, whatever, maybe one. It's cool. Uh, I wasn't gonna talk business tonight, but I do have a little piece of business I gotta talk. I'm gonna do that right after this thing that I always do that makes everyone so happy. Here we go.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charley from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
Your business will make you money if you do well at that business. And ES Advantage in trucking, they do really well at providing those services. So the effect that ES has had on our personal trucking operations, not even talking about what we do on the consulting arena, I've been able to save thousands of dollars a year in fuel because of the relationship with them. I have a new accountant that I work with, trucker CFO, that I learned about from ES Advantage.
They're giving you that 10,000 yard kind of support from behind that creates a way for you to succeed, which is one of the things that we love, because anything you can do to help someone succeed is going to help them succeed. They make money by making sure you make money.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
Get behind the ES Advantage today. I have someone in the green room. Oh my gosh. Wait. I'm gonna get her. Watch. I'm gonna put you on. You ready? Here we go. Well, hi, Ida.
Cookie!
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year stuff.
Merry Christmas. I just got to my gate.
Oh, fair enough. Hey, I got to talk quick business real quick. I wasn't going to talk business, but there was something that popped out this week, and it's really important for everybody that has an LLC or a business. It's like a real business entity, not a sole prop. I know it sounded terrible, but you know what I mean. On the 23rd, a appeals court struck down the injunction on the BOI reporting stuff. So they've issued an extension to everybody. You now have, let's see, I want to get the right date. The old deadline was December 31st. The new deadline is January 13th. You got to go to the FinCEN site and register your business if you have an LLC or one of those types of things, and make it happen, Captain. You're back on the hook. You got to get filed and registered by the 13th of January. And yes, it's a thing. Whatever. Hi, Ida.
What up?
Oh, you looking good out there. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate you. I just thought it'd be nice for people to pop in and say, hey, Merry Christmas, whatever they want to do. You're more than welcome to hang out as long as you like, of course. But I want to say, hey, Craig, what's up, buddy? Jim Wall, Craig Hutchinson, let's see, James Vaughn, Dennis Lewis. There's no Jeff. He's driving, maybe getting home right now. We're waiting to see. Not sure what's going to happen. He's pretty close. He should be pulling into the house, and he's got a bunch of family there and that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. It's all good. May not be a long show tonight. For all 7 of us here. We're just chilling, hanging out, and didn't want to talk a bunch of business and stuff. Just wanted to, I know there's a lot of people that are still out on the road and, I didn't want you to think that, oh, Charlie's home, he's going to ignore everybody. No, it ain't like that. I don't ever want to feel like that. Ismail, good to see you, buddy. Glad to see you. Ida James said hello. Hi, Ida.
Listen, you guys, I'm on my driveway right now. If the horses are out, I got a special treat for y'all. You'll get to see my 4-legged babies.
Oh Lord, her horses are hilarious. And James, for you and your people, Feliz Navidad. Just saying. I feel that's important. I don't know why, but it's important. James has me up on a big screen in his house. He says, I don't know what's wrong with his. Anyhow, but yeah, so glad you guys are here. Hardcore dedicated folks. I dig you. Any of you who are out there working still, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad. I'm thinking about you. I want you to think that I don't want you to think you're alone or anything like that, because you're not. You're not. There's an awful lot of people out there still hauling freight and going to be out there doing that thing that we do so much. I'm fortunate enough that I get to come home on certain days, and guess what? Christmas fell on a Wednesday, which is my normal day off. I'm just saying. Of course, I'm taking a little extended time. I'm not going back to work till the 2nd. I don't know if I had paid attention to that.
You're a ragamuffin, an absolute ragamuffin, sir.
Did you see that when I split?
Yeah, I think that it. Are they out? Hold on. I wonder if Juan Valdez is out here. The donkey.
Juan Valdez. He's cool. Oh my gosh.
He's here. Hold on. I gotta make the headlights on this big pickup truck work for him.
Oh Lord.
I'm sorry about the dinging, y'all. My driveway is like a mile long.
It's funny watching her climb in and out of that pickup truck.
It's a little big.
It's like 37 feet tall. It's great.
It's not 37 feet tall. It ain't that big.
It is in comparison to you.
Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Look at this sweet face.
Oh, look at.
He said, I don't know about all that.
Right?
Hi,
He's like, I don't know
Moonshine.
about this much.
One of the Mustangs, Miss Moonshine.
No, they don't want nothing to do with the camera. They're like, what are you doing?
Juan Valdez is he's a very sensitive soul.
Juan. Hola,
He's
Juan.
our herd protector.
I like him. He's awesome. He's not as awesome as you, though. I'm just saying.
Hi, baby mama. What are you doing? Don't you bite me.
Bite her.
I don't know if you can see her. Just the one that nipped the baby.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And then Tequila's over here. And Safara, the pony's over here. But I can't see in this dark as crap. I ain't got no lights at my house. You could see me by the headlights.
Ida lives way out in the woods. And that's a wonderful place to live, if you ask me. The farther out, the better. I had this wonderful piece of property for a while. It's 200 acres out in the middle of the Texas desert. I couldn't get anyone in the family to agree to move there. Apparently, it was too far. I don't know what their problem was. I was like, look, we can truck in water. We don't need electricity. That's what they're solar for and stuff like that. And they're like, wait, what? No water? I'm like, yeah, it'll be fine. We own a big truck. We own a couple big trucks, right? They're like, no, absolutely not.
There's a couple of communities out in like Arizona where people live in those. What are they? The big like Indian tent huts or whatever.
Right.
Time for the second gate. And they don't really have water either. Is it Nevada? Is it Arizona? One of them places.
Right. I don't think it's a bad thing personally. I was totally down with it. And the other thing I loved about it was there was no building codes. I was totally going to build a earth bag house, and I could not. Oh God, I was so excited about it. And everybody's like, no, bro. My closest neighbor was like 6 miles. It would have been awesome. But
That need be. My closest neighbor's a mile up the driveway.
Yeah, now, well, both the houses next to me right now are empty, so that's cool. I don't know. I didn't run them off. Whatever. So how were you working today, Ida?
Of course I work today. If my drivers work, I work.
Oh, and that's why we love you.
Yep, it's only fair.
Good times, good times. So yeah, Jeff is out there trying to get to his house. He apparently slipped right through the middle, like in between every storm possible on the way there, from like, running across 70 and 80 and all that nonsense. And last I heard, there was no chain laws up and no snow in sight. And he was like, man, I'm like, why'd you say it out loud, bro? So I don't know if he made it there. I'm assuming he did. But I was like, whatever, we're doing a show. It's Tuesday. That's what we do one way or another. I'm going to be here. I'm just saying, it's a thing. Yeah. But again, we don't have a whole lot of stuff going on tonight. I just thought it'd be cool to get on and hang out for a little while and see what y'all are up to. See if you guys are home, if you're out working. Did you make it to the house? Did you not try? Whatever. I mean, whatever it is cool. I dig it. And I'm happy that I'm here. I got home. I'm pretty happy about it. I got home really early Monday morning. I had this crazy long run. It was a Saturday night run, really. But they added in all this nonsense, Ida. That load is crazy as hell. Go from Trustville, which is Birmingham, up to Huntsville, then down over to Oxford, which is between Birmingham and Atlanta, and then back up to Huntsville. And we got home at 6:30 Monday morning. Just saying, whatever. I didn't care. I was happy. We were home Monday. That's all I cared about. I wanted to get home Monday, and it worked out good. Had a good week. I mean, considering we only worked 3 days, we did just short of 3,200 miles. So, I mean, I was like, yeah, okay. Excuse me. Oh, Rosie's home. My phone just told me. She went out shopping. Go figure. She's like, and you know what's funny is I haven't been drinking alcohol for like the last year and a half or so because of the migraines and stuff. And she's like, I'm going on a beer run. I'm like, oh, great. Yay, not for me. Whatever. But anyhow, where y'all at tonight? Dennis says he's in Florida. He said, good evening, people. Ismail, where you at, man? Craig, James is at home in Mexico. Jim Wall, good to see you, by the way. Hope you guys are all someplace groovy and maybe someplace you want to be. That would be fantastic. That would be ideal for everybody. Westbound I-90 in New York. Ooh, I'm sorry, sir. That's what Ismail said. That's a bummer. But thank you for doing what you do, sir. I want you to know that I appreciate you. My family appreciates what you do. Ida, I can't figure out which way to point. There we go. Ida over there. I know she appreciates it.
I do.
Craig's in Pioneer, Tennessee. Rosie's about to walk in the door. I can hear her out there talking. I don't know what she's doing. I think whatever.
Want to see George?
Yes. Hey, buddy. Oh, I just got like so many aminals out there. It's crazy.
Gracie
She's got like 97 cats.
I do not have 97 cats. I do not. It's like
Jim
5.
Wall's at home, just southeast of Ocala. Nice. Oh, good times, y'all. Good times. So, how long y'all home for? Are you guys there for a minute? Are you just overnight? What are you doing? Hope you got some plans and you get to spend a little family time and something like that. And I'm having really poor posture. My camera's like out of adjustment. It's like zoomed in a little too far. So when I get close to the mic, I like disappear the screen. And hi, baby.
You got a special guest.
I got a special guest.
Hi.
Oh, look at he got pajamas on. I like it. You guys can't see. Wait. Let me bring it down. Wait. This is my eldest grandson, Victor. It's slowly dropping, slowly going down. Probably shouldn't show my shirt because people get offended. And he's wearing some fantastic freaking pajamas. Come here, boy. Over here. Say hi. Say Merry Christmas, peoples.
Merry Christmas, people.
Tell truck drivers how happy you are that they drive trucks and they take stuff to the stores for us. Does it make you happy?
I'm happy.
Thank you. Now get the hell out of here. I love you. Troublemaker. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where the rest are. I can hear a couple out there. But I can't get the camera low enough to get down to the rest of them though. I don't even know what they're doing. DJ Bowl, Merry Christmas, buddy. Good to see you. Cali Hustle. Great to see you. Appreciate you guys popping in here. Oh, dang it. Here comes Rosie. I got to move the camera again because short people, and I'm standing up doing the show today.
Rosie! We love Rosie more!
Right? Look. Yep. See where she is. Just saying. Anyhow.
Merry
Look,
Christmas.
I got the Ida.
Hi,
All right, now get out of here. I can't see the damn screen. It's so far away now. It's so low. I can't read anything. I can't touch my keyboard. Will you make me some Cafe Bustelo, please? Please, pretty please, with your magic
Rosie.
little mixture.
Please ask Rosie to make me some Cafe Bustelo too. Thank
Ida
you.
would like some Cafe Bustelo as well. Oh, getting back on the road on the 26th, Cali Hustle said. DJ Bolin said, Victor, Santa will bring you something nice and abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna tell him myself. You know what I did? I did no shopping. You know what? I went the old grandpa way. Cash, baby. Cash out there on the tree. That's what I'm saying. Just pick it off. Pick whatever. That's what's gonna happen. Luckily, they're not watching this because they'd be like, what? Anyhow, I'm broken. What do you want from me? James said he's heading back out on the 26th. Yeah, I'm home till the 2nd, man. I need to install the floors in my bedroom, the carpet in my office. I got to build my bed again so I can get it off the cinder blocks that my mattress has been sitting on since our flood and the hurricane stuff. I'm just now getting time and energy and money to do all the things that I got to get done. And I got to make a run to Tampa to go spend some time with our family over there, Rosie's sister and father-in-law and my brother-in-law and just everybody. And oh man, it's gonna be busy. I thought, it'll be a relaxing couple of days, Ida. No, it's not going to be. It is absolutely not going to be, and that's okay because it's gonna be family, and I'm happy about that. No sad faces, it's happy faces.
You're welcome. I know I'm a fabulous human being to work for.
You are. Hey, matter of distinction, important words. I don't work for you. I work with you, and I appreciate you.
Fair.
See what I did there? Yep. I'm constantly busting Ida's balls about contract stuff and contracts. She's really good about it. She's got some other people in there that like to confuse a couple things here and there. And I am constantly like, well, actually, you can't say it that way. That would not be proper. And she's like, you're right. You're right. Yeah, they probably shouldn't say it that way. And they fix it. And it's great. And that's what I love about her. Because, for those of you who don't know, Ida used to drive trucks too. Ida was a contractor herself. She drove a big truck all by herself, like a big girl with a big girl pants, big girl trucker pants. That sounded weird.
Once upon a time in a land far, far away. Yeah, I did. Me and my fat orange kitty cat got on up in a semi truck and went right on across the country.
I still don't understand how people keep cats in their trucks. I do not. I'm not a cat person. Yet there are 3 damn cats in my house. Whatever. I'm just saying, I don't know how you do it in a truck because I can't stand these beasts in my house. They all look like they want to eat me.
It was easier than the dog. Like, you don't have to walk the cat.
No, absolutely not. No. Rosie's gonna go trucking by herself. She ever talks about bringing a cat on the truck. That's what I'm saying. I am just not.
You would never. I would
Oh,
roll right out to your truck, and there you would be in it with the cat.
You know what? That's the day I have to quit trucking. Rosie and I will quit trucking if it comes down to her being like, we got to take a cat. I'm like, we don't have a truck anymore. I sold it. It's gone. Turned it in, whatever the case is. Okay, wait. The right kind of cat might work because oh geez, here we go. But I've had some cool cats. The cats we have now are not cool to me. I don't know. Whatever. They're okay. They're not mine. I don't worry about them. I got dogs. I got big dogs, and I'm happy.
Can you see her? Gracie May. Can you see her?
You guys just don't know how spoiled that dog is right there. Oh, Lord. Right, DJ? That's what I'm saying. The cat litter.
You have to change it every day.
Oh, Lord. But it would just bother. Just the thought of it. Good
Yeah, you
Lord.
have to vacuum and dust and stuff like that. But really, if you're clean and you change it every day, it's not that big of a deal. So, like, I'd get up in the morning and I would put like a bag in it, a trash bag.
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning, I would lift out what was in there and put new in it for the day. So it was an everyday thing.
Is it just me, or would anyone else think about, there's a litter box. The rest
I know ladies
a mile down the road.
I know ladies that have been there.
Just saying. Another reason can't have a litter box in my truck because I'll use it. I mean, whatever. I'm being honest. Oh, God, that would be a terrible thing. I'd be like, but it's like peeing outside, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Dual purpose litter box. Exactly, DJ. Oh, my God. Oh, it's just ruining my brain for the moment. This is just drawing pictures. And baby, we don't have to stop at a rest area for you. Just hit the litter box. She's like, what? I just squat in the hole, babe. It's fine. Pretend like you're camping. Oh man, there's so many problems this would create because I'm like, it's something that could be used, I guess. I don't mean, oh God, we're talking about bodily functions on Christmas Eve.
Hey.
Broken.
Oh, you hear him? You see something in the wilderness.
Get
He's
it.
ready.
Whoa. Get it. If anyone ever needs to purchase some snails, I happen to have a hookup. I know this lady, I call her the Duchess of Snails, or the Baroness of Snails. Whichever she prefers would be okay. Over that red Solo cup. Good Lord, DJ. I want to see. We have 300 more miles to go before we stop. Exactly. Oh man. Would like if you feel like just the bottom with kitty lip, never mind. It's putting ideas in my head. I'm gonna be like, Rosie, we don't have to stop. We learned all these wonderful things on Christmas Eve, and she's gonna be like, no, stupid, no. DJ, I am your biggest fan right at the moment, sir, because you're giving me ideas and helping me get more miles, and I don't know, more miles than less time. Important. Just saying. Ida, you might actually encourage some of these behaviors because you're like, hey, get there on time, guys. Get there on time.
Listen, you don't have time for all that mess. You don't have time for it.
Oh, dear Lord. You guys should see some of the things that go on this Target account. Like, I enjoy the people who, like, stop on their way to their first store. And they're like, I'm going to grab a shower and I'm going to grab a nap.
It wasn't just that. The most recent was, and guys, I never imagined this would be thought out, okay? But speaking for a friend, imagine, if you will, you miss your exit, okay?
I already know.
So you button hook over into the left lane and stop on the interstate make a U-turn on the interstate, and then go the wrong direction up the on-ramp. Imagine, if you will.
So scary. So scary.
Mm-hmm.
And contractor, company person.
Thank God it wasn't a contractor. Thank
thought
God.
it was a contractor. I was totally like ready to bust.
No, he wanted to eventually. That was his. He was setting up his. I had him working through, like, this, and this before you come back with this, right? And he's just,
right. Oh my God, yeah. That one hurt my brain when that story came out. I was like, oh dear Lord, why? It can't be that bad. It just there's another one. If you just go down the road a little bit, there's another one, and just a little further down that, there's another one you can get off, and you can just get and go back up the other way, and save your job or your contract or your life.
And you've been down the road. So the next exit was actually Mossy Head, which connects right back to the US 90, which he could have took right on back the way he needed to go. He didn't even have to turn around on the interstate. He just could have got right back on the 90.
Right. Oh, see. DJ Bowling. Give her a shiwi and a water bottle. Look, Rosie has one. She hasn't used it yet. I'm just saying. She like searched high and low to find one of those little devices, and she's like, I got one, and she hasn't used it, which is funny, but whatever.
I have one for when I do hike throughs. It was useful for that.
DJ Bolin, is the rumor true about inward-facing cameras being taken out? There are no inward-facing cameras in Swift trucks, I can tell you that. And as we've been told, we'll never have inward-facing cameras. I mean, be careful with that never thing. I mean, look, who knows a couple years down the road, right? I know Prime just dumped all their trucks with inward-facing cameras, but they have to be done by the 31st of January, and there's a lot of pissed off people there. Swift did have them at one point, and things went horribly wrong, and they decided maybe we shouldn't have that, and they pulled that nonsense out, which is a good idea. Just saying. Could be expensive for many reasons.
Was it Decker Truck Lines? One of their behavioral change things is if your safety score goes up too high, they not only put the one face in the road, but the inward facing ones.
Yeah.
And then I know that Bar None actually has one on each side, so they can see down the sides of both trucks and forward facing, but they can kind of see inside, but it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not focused in the cab per se. It's it might catch a edge, right? Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't. I mean, I encourage people to have cameras, and look, if you can get 360 degrees, in fact, a spherical picture of your truck, top, bottom, up, down, left, right, I'm like, get it, man. It's worth every penny. Of course, I believe you should control that if you're a contractor. This shouldn't be something your customer controls, or your insurance company for that matter, or your least contracted person, whoever's renting. I think that's crazy. It's something you should control, and you should have access to, and you should be in charge of. Craig said Crete does the same thing. If your score goes up, see, that's just great. But you know what? I don't have a Swift camera. I don't have a carrier camera in my truck. And I drive like a responsible human being because I don't want to kill people and I don't want to die on the road. So, I don't know. The score thing I don't get because I don't have a score. I keep my own score. You don't want to know how I keep my score. I'm just saying, but we're not supposed to talk about that public stuff. That score is something that's just ongoing. Jim, I have rear facing outside. I have rear facing outside on both sides and forward facing Falconite. That's a great system. I love that Falconite system. And with Falconite, you can have that wonderful little black box system or upload to cloud. and heaven forbid you're in one of those crazy catastrophic burnt the truck to the ground things, man, at least they'll know what the heck happened. I'm just saying, and maybe puts responsibility on the right people at the right time. And I don't know, it sounds morbid, but your family might do well because of that. That sounds terrible, but you know what I mean. Good Lord, I give up. I don't even know what to say. This is what happens when Jeff doesn't come on the show. I start talking about crazy things, and people are like, "Bro, that was kind of harsh."
Hey, so the DJ guy said that they're getting ready. Is it a legal thing that they're taking all of the cameras out in Canada? That's kind of cool, though. You truck in Canada?
That's awesome. Up here in Canada, companies are taking out due to court ruling. I dig it. I don't think there should be inward facing cameras. I just there's just too many times for it to be abused on so many different levels.
It was just like having the sound in it. Our safety department consistently, like, you're blowing a horn, or you might have road rage Tourette's happening because whatever in front of you, and a spew of terrible things may have fallen from your mouth, and that instantly makes you aggressive. And I never could get behind that.
Right.
And finally, they did away with it. I was so grateful.
So, when I heard about some of that stuff going on, because I never had one of those cameras in the truck, and I was like, good Lord, they'd be slamming me left and right, because on a good day, in good driving conditions, I'll look at somebody and I will throw out a string of expletives like I can make some Marines proud, is what I'm saying. And I'm not even mad. But if all they heard was the audio, oh man, I'm done for. DJ said there's a court case in Quebec, Cisco. Court ruled it was an invasion of privacy. I think it is too. I mean, there's this weird argument that it's a company piece of equipment. They own the truck, right? But then there's that fine line where it becomes your temporary home, right? And I mean, I get some companies' stance on it, but I'm far more in favor of the driver on this. I assure you, no company wants an inward-facing camera in my truck, because I'm the guy. I assure you, I will be dancing naked while Rosie's driving. It'll happen. If that camera's facing me, I am stripping down and I am dancing with all my junk, out, and I'm like, yeah, woo, look at daddy, look at. And they're like, that's a small child. But anyhow, you know what I'm getting at. And it would be fine. And they would be like, why is there a child in the truck? And I'd be like, but whatever. Just saying, it would probably not go well.
Hot mess.
Yep. It's true.
If they could, company-wise, right? Like, if they could figure out a way to just lock down, say, program it to where it only looks at that driver's seat, right? If there were a way to make it to where it only did that, or to where it would like auto shut off when you stop the truck, or you know what I mean? But I felt relieved, as it were,
right,
that I got out of the truck before I had to do the camera or the buzzes and the dings and you know what I mean? Yeah. You guys put up with a lot. So, I'm proud of everybody that does that every day.
The new line of trucks we're getting, Ida, are they have the side radar now for in case there's a vehicle over there. And I've heard some terrible reports about this thing. And even still, I'm looking forward to getting that truck, because I'm supposed to be turning mine in January, February, and getting one of the new Freightliners that we're getting come that time. And no, they're not giving me jack. They're charging me quite a bit, actually. They're making me put up front money on this one, because they're like, you're getting out early, bro. Ha! Sure, we'll accommodate you if you bring enough money. I'm like, dang it. All right, that's cool, whatever. But anyhow, It's got those big radar bubbles on like where the steps are that say, hey, there's a car in your lane. If you put your blinker on, I've heard that alarm is tremendously annoying. And I'm one of those people that indicates early, like there's 5 cars coming. I put my blinker on for all 5 of them, and 6, 7 back behind them can see that I'm intending to move over at some point. Should you give me enough room, I will be filling that hole. Thank you. And I've been told that I am absolutely really going to love this new system.
God, Charlie, I don't know how you guys do it. Realistically, I'm humbled by it because, you remember how the turn signal sounded on the T2000?
Right.
You remember that? The wee. You break down, you have to have them on. You're insane by the time they come to get you.
Absolutely. Earplugs, all that, none of it works. It eats through them, like it dissolves them because of the frequency at which it modulates the sound and vibrate. And like earplugs fall out and melt and they turn liquid, and you've got brain matter coming down like this, and you're like blowing your nose and you're like, oh my God, that's brain matter, and I don't even know what just happened. And by the end of it, you're like, I don't even know what's wrong with my truck anymore. It don't go. What? Can't hear you. What?
And this was terribly. I searched high and low and did all kind of stuff trying to figure out how to disconnect the sound, and you could not.
Right.
You could not. You would disconnect your whole your whole sound system in your truck if you disconnected that.
Right. Jeff and I had a conversation about this side radar alarm thing. And we're wondering if maybe there isn't a way to have it maybe dialed down in volume somehow. I don't know, for someone who's paying for the truck, whatever. I'm just, for there's got to be a setting in there. There's got to be. And I'm going to search high and low for someone that can make that happen. And they're probably all going to tell me, no, bro, suck it up. And I'm like, that sucks. Oh, God, look, tacos. It's Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Gato, taco, gato, taco, taco, gato. Whoop. My bad. See, there's going to be a clip made of that, and that's not going to be a good thing. You are a terrible person, DJ. Tape a quarter to it would drive someone crazy all day. Oh, my
God. That's good. I'm going to file that away for later.
Right? Oh, my gosh. So, and I've heard several reports that thing will read cars 2 or 3 lanes over, like not even the lane next to you, and alert you. And I'm like, that's not cool.
It's going to absolutely be the right-handed chain gang again. You're just going to be stuck in the right lane. That's what's
right.
going to happen.
Never change lanes. Just stay there. Just absolutely. I do that most time anyhow, except for on those days when I'm like trying to get somewhere. Jim, well, how'd you know I'm eating tacos? Because it's Taco Tuesday, and she put a cat on the screen. What? I'm not saying anything weird.
That was baby squirrel. Mm-hmm. That was the fattest of the behinds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the coffee, my love. It's fabulous. I appreciate it.
I'm glad. Can you scoot that over?
Yep. Oh, I gotta move a chair. Rosie's trying to go feed the dogs. Woo woo. Walking through. Walking out with, you should see these monster ass cups. They're like, yeah, too big to show there. They're monster. And now they're like, food, more food, feed me more. They're worse than children, I tell you. They just don't stop. They had a whole deer in the yard. It kind of impressed me. We had a deer jump our back fence. I don't know what happened. Okay, like legit. There's nothing wrong with this deer other than the broken neck that is clearly visible. It was not struck by a car because it got over the fence, and speed limit is like 2 miles an hour in the neighborhood. I think what happened, the deer jumped the fence. The dog went woo woo woo. Let's get her. She turned around and ran into the palm tree and snapped her neck clean. And it was sad. And the worst part is, my neighbor saw it happen in the morning. Didn't tell any of us till that evening. Yep. you can imagine she was already getting right. And here's the crazy thing, freaked me out. I was a little impressed by my dogs. They did not tear into that deer, which absolutely surprised me.
That would not be my house because
I
darling sweet
know,
baby George has drugged 2 up that he's caught. 2.
right? So it was funny because it wasn't until they saw me go out there and look at her that then they decide, hey, let's rip her apart. And I'm like, no, stop. They're like, but we waited all day for you. And I'm like, no. And then I called Florida Fish and Wildlife, and this was the day before Thanksgiving, right? It was a Wednesday evening at about 5:00 when I found out and called them. And they're like, yeah, we don't come out and get that kind of stuff, man. Just dig a hole. I'm like, bro, I ain't digging a hole. He's like, well, just throw it in the woods. I'm like, I live in town, man. None of my neighbors are gonna be cool with that. You can call the county, but it's like 4:30, 5:00 on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure they're not coming. You know what I ended up doing? I ended up throwing her in the back of my pickup, and I drove 1.5 blocks in that direction. And there's this big sand lot that these people that we sometimes affectionately refer to as tweakers like to hang out in the middle of that sand lot in the trees and do weird tweaker things. So I figured her belly was starting to swell up, and it wasn't going to be long before she exploded. So I took her up there and dropped her in the middle of that lot for my tweaker friends so that they could enjoy some real outdoors goodness. No one else in the neighborhood ever enjoyed any of it, so it was fine. I was okay with that. But I was like, FWC, what do you mean? What if somebody sees me dragging this deer around the neighborhood? Are they gonna? Don't worry, I've got your name and your address and your phone number. I mean, you can eat it if you want to, even, or do whatever you want with it. It's not your fault. We took the report. You're good to go. I'm like, eat this thing. Good Lord, you should smell this beast right now. She was starting to make sounds. You know what I'm saying? When you move her, she's like, I'm like, oh, that's not pleasant. That is the smell of something I don't ever want to smell up close. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, not a pleasant sight, but that was something. I don't even know how I got on that story, but whatever. Live on 18 Wheels. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Craig's over here dying laughing. He's like in tears right now. I can totally see him being in tears too. That's the funny thing. He's like, there's something wrong with this man. And poor Ida up on the screen with him, just all up in there, and just good Lord. You know, it's a weird thing. My brain, it's fantastic. I got new meds. I'm not going to talk about them yet till I try them out for a little bit and see what they do. Today was the first day I took it, and it's just a little tiny half pill. Apparently, I'm supposed to take half a pill for 14 days and see what happens, and then start taking whole pills, and then I get to put my big boy pants on, and then we'll see what happens. Funny thing is, Doc's like, hey, so you're going to think nothing's happening. You're not going to notice any difference at all. And I'm like, well, then this is stupid. She's like, no. Your wife will notice. Your wife will absolutely notice, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. She will notice, and she will let you know. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I might be getting set up or something here. Just saying. Could be good, could be bad. Who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be a fantastic time. Ida.
He says only Rosie will know. That's what he says.
Yeah, well, she says that other people will notice, your spouse more than anyone. They said they will notice an absolute difference in you from these meds. And I'm like, well, that sounds interesting. And they're like, yeah, you're going to think like nothing's happened. Nothing's changed. Everything's groovy. The life is grand or whatever. And I'm like, whoa, this doesn't sound cool. But hey, if it works, it works. And then I'll be groovy. Hey, remember that fish tank I was telling you about? It's sitting in my front yard and it ain't broken.
What? That's cool. Speaking of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Look.
There's the frogs.
Oh. He ain't quite big enough to eat. I'm just saying.
You're not gonna. Is that the Mad Hatter or is
You
that the
have
White
frogs
Rabbit?
there. You ain't got to go out in the cold to go gigging.
That's the Mad Hatter. And there's the White Rabbit.
Show me a snail.
You want to see snails?
I gotta see snails.
So you're about to see Binky too, okay?
Nice.
There's the snail tank, and Billy Badass is back here. I don't know if you can see him or not.
Nice.
That's one of them.
Ida's raising snails. Just saying. Whoever would have thought of this? That lady right there. Stumbled up in.
It was an accident.
She's like, I'm gonna get a couple snails from my own.
And then, can you see Twilight Sparkles?
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this tank is, I think it's every bit of 4 feet. Maybe 3. I don't know. I eyeballed it.
If it's 4 foot, that's got to be like 55 gallons.
It's a fairly. She was using it as, I think at one point it was a terrarium. I don't know, but
that would be cool. That would be a cool grow out tank.
One like this size here, right? Well, it's bigger than that. I can't make it big enough on the screen. Let me stand back. It's about that. Oh God, I never know which way to move. It's about that wide. Anyhow, and it's got a gecko in it, a big old juicy gecko.
Oh, those are cute.
She had 2, and she gave the boy away and kept the girl, and the girl's really cool. She's like lazy, and she's like, "What's up? Let me hang out." And she's got one of them big old chunky tails.
I like those. I like the chameleons too, the chameleons.
Right.
I love those.
I want an Anderson's chameleon because I feel like that. The eyes.
I know they're so tiny. You'll never be able to see them. I have little tiny pea puffers. I call them my murder beans. Nice. And they have independent eyes like that.
DJ said he thought you were going to show a lobster in the tank. That would have been awesome.
You don't.
And then drop in a pot. No,
you don't know me. I'd have ate him a long time ago.
I'm just saying, she doesn't have to go out in the cold to go frog gigging. Whatever. She's not going to admit she's gigging in her living room, but I'm just saying they could happen. Ida's country's all get out.
Not the White Rabbit and the Mad Hatter. I love them.
Hey, on the right day, I'm just saying it's better than the red pill or the blue pill is what I'm saying. You never know. You never know. Don't say never. Never get you in trouble. Trust me, I learned about that. James, are they big enough to eat? James, like, why?
They are the size of my hand. They're African clawed frogs. They get big, like really big.
I think James is asking about the snails. So snails, why don't you raise snails that people buy for escargot?
I don't know what kind people eat for escargot.
I don't either. It's yucky. You ever tried that?
I have colorful ones, and then the ones that started it are what people consider pest snails.
Right.
And that was a joke, and people bought them. It was so weird.
Right. You go out in these rivers around here, Ida, and grab those big old apple snails. I bet crazy people.
Well, that's basically what the mysteries are.
Mm.
Oh my God, Butters! I just closed your door. I'm so sorry.
Those things are massive. We got a bunch of them around here in the little offshoot.
Highly evasive. Highly evasive. Holy crap, man!
So many. Like, I don't even know where the hell they came from. I know everybody's talking about if you see them, just kill them. I'm like, that seems messed up. I struggle with that, but whatever. Now, squirrels I'll go after. Me and squirrels got a constant war going on, but I do end my no squirrel zone at my property line. So I don't I don't attack squirrels in the neighbor's yard. And they now know this, by the way, because it's funny because they will run to the property line. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. DJ Bolin said he knows a guy who builds custom tanks and grows corals and sells them.
Oh yeah, that saltwater stuff, that's expensive. Holy crap. My uncle many years ago lived in Panama City, and he used to dive every year for that coral because he ran a big fish shop down in Panama City.
That's crazy. We tried, I told you about this before. We tried to do the saltwater stuff back in the day, and my mom got into, my mom went fish tank crazy at one point. She's like, I'm gonna get into saltwater. I'm like, don't do it, mama, don't do it, it's too much work. She's like, nah, they've got these fantastic fancy things that do all the self-clean. I'm like, it's all BS, mama, don't believe the lie. And she didn't listen to me. And then 2 years later, those big monster sea saltwater tanks were filled with Beanie Babies. She displayed Beanie Babies in them because she's like, well, I got these massive tanks now. I'm pretty stands. I'm going to put something in.
You should see Baby D's house, all the tanks she has.
Really?
He's a big puffer fish named Bubbles, and he is amazing, and I love him. He looks like Jethro's derpy redneck cousin from Kentucky with his little buck tooth and googly eyes. I love him so much.
James said you can eat apple snails.
Don't they give you lungworm or something like that? Like, because they took them, they brought them in somewhere to feed a population of people, and they gave them some kind of like a deadly worm.
See, now you're gonna make me look because now I'm fascinated.
They did. They brought them in. I can't remember where. The giant ones to feed a population of people, and they give you lungworm. I think it's called.
Get this. According to my first AI pop-up, yes, you can eat apple snails, but you must take precautions to avoid parasites and ensure they are cooked thoroughly. Cooked thoroughly, never eat apple snails raw or undercooked. Remove intestinal material. Clean the snails by removing any intestinal material. Remove egg masses. Kill parasites. Cooking properly kills parasites, but you should avoid handling the snails in the meantime. I'm out already. That is way too much. Talking about you got to cook it to kill the parasites. You're still eating the damn parasites. They're just dead, hopefully. No.
It's a lot. It's a lot of, I don't know. And I've never had it. It's not something I've eaten. Many things my grandfather shot, caught in a river.
No.
I don't know.
Just look, I tried one snail one time. I chewed twice. It was no. That's what happened. I just got it back out. Couldn't do it. The flavor was weird. And it was like, it was all like fancy cooked right and prepared. And I was like, no, couldn't get past the fact that it was a snail. And I'm willing to try damn near anything.
But that would explain why you have to buy shells for your snail, right? So when you make escargot, you have to like buy the shell to put them back in because I guess there's so much prep work that has to go into it.
Right? You gotta rip them apart. Rip their guts out.
I'm good. I don't even like to peel my own shrimp, man. I'm good.
Nick Earl, what's going on, man? DJ, I love seafood, but raw oysters, no thing. So I was into raw oysters. I lived in a great place for it, Astoria, Oregon, and we would go right across the Columbia River to Oysterville, Washington, and buy them. So cheap right out of the oyster beds, right? And it was weird because I'm not a seafood person. I don't like fishy fish, except I love tuna fish in a can. Figure that one out. You could prepare me the most amazing tuna steak, and I'm like, blah, blah, nope, can't do it. Tuna fish in a can, love it. Don't know why. Rosie, on the other hand, I cannot get a kiss from Rosie for at least a day. if I eat tuna fish. So sometimes I will eat a tuna sandwich from Panera, and Rosie calls it, I'm going to get in trouble. Rosie calls it your whore sandwich. Yep, she says it. She's dirty like that. And I can't even get a little no. So you know what I do? I sit on the opposite side of the table from her, and I'm like, "Hi, baby. This sandwich is so good." She's like, mm, mm. It's so funny to watch. And I'm a terrible person, and this is why if there's a hell, I'm probably driving the bus. So y'all get aboard. Boop boop. We're going straight there, and I'm driving. But it's pretty funny. But oysters were funny because oysters have that consistency problem in your mouth, right? You can imagine.
I'm not argumentative about that, but
Right.
that's
But
one of my favorites.
Right? It freaked me out. But now I don't think I can do it now. But my palate. So when I went keto, my palate completely changed. Like things that I used to love, can't tolerate anymore. And things I used to
No,
hate, I love now. Like I hated asparagus.
it's genetic in me now. That was my grandfather's favorite food. I was
Nice.
raised eating them. I'll eat them until I'm old and I can't chew anymore. I love oysters.
Beautiful thing about oysters when they're raw, you ain't got to chew them. Just done. Fill your belly and be good. I'm just saying. And every now and then, maybe you poop out a pearl, whatever. What's who's gonna fish that out? Those are questions that come into my head. Like, if you realize you're like, dang, I shouldn't have swallowed that. I feel like there was a pearl in that. You're like, I better check tomorrow. I don't know. I would think about that. It's not a weird thing, is it? Probably it is.
You
and this
never
is
had a kid that ate a nickel or a penny?
may know
You
some.
didn't?
I may know
I'm just
some.
saying. I'm just saying.
I may have heard stories about some weird kids who ate like a gold charm off a necklace or something like that
Oh yeah.
and retrieved it. Dedicated parents. I ain't the one. I'm like, you owe me money. I'm not fishing for that. I mean, look, with my cycle, it could be 8 hours later or 72. There's a lot of things that could happen in that amount of time. And I'm not fishing through all that mess. I'm just saying that's crazy. It's like Christmas dinner. We always end up talking
Charlie,
about food. I don't even know
how
how
did
that
we
happened.
get here? How did we get here, Charlie?
I blame James Vaughn. He brought something up
How
on
did we get here, Charlie?
probably Craig. Craig's a trouble. Who my biggest instigator is? It's Mike Henderson and Jim Wall. Those two love to steer me down black holes that get me in trouble. They think it's hilarious.
I mean, normally I feel like I have, the responsibility of Jeff to direct you in a good way because I'm here. I feel
Good
like
luck.
I have a lot of weight on my shoulders. Usually I'm the one sending you on a tangent, but
See, people don't understand. Ida sends me text messages and little videos and memes. Y'all don't understand. Just puts me off into these crazy tears that are just like roller coasters, like up and down. And I could just see her sitting back, just like you saw her right there, just giggling. Just like she's like, oh, he's gonna freak the hell out over this one. This one's gonna set him off like no other. Watch this. And I can just see her
I,
waiting to see me light up the texting. What
I
the
have
hell?
to have. I like it when your picture pops up and the little bubbles happen.
Right?
Like you're. I have to have something to amuse myself, something to pass the time, Charlie man,
Look,
something.
that is absolutely fair and totally acceptable because I am one of those people as well. Because I will send something, we'll say questionable to certain people, and I will stare at the box, waiting to see when did they see it and are they typing, because I can't wait to see what they typed. Because it could be absolutely fascinating. And sometimes I get words that are not okay to be repeated in the world. James Bond, you do know a real pro can go from 50 to 1,000 US dollars. Just saying, I don't care. I'm not a plumber. You know what? Nope. Not doing that either. They make great damn money. I don't do plumbing repairs. I'll do rough layout type plumbing, right? Before anything has traveled through the pipes. Once the pipes are connected to something, no, thank you. I've got a poop problem. Not really. But I no, absolutely not. James, you're in timeout. I don't even know what to say about you anymore. You know what? I don't even care. Why are we back on this? We got away from it. We were talking about something else, and James brought it back. And Jim Wall with his little sneaky laugh over here. He's like, yeah, And this comes from a guy who hated me. This guy used to just despise me. And he's like, ha, I like him now because I can torture him. And it's fun to do. And I'm going to get him in trouble with Jeff. Oh, with the poop emoji even. Look at you. Stop it. You better just stop it. I need more Cafe Bustelo.
Donna's going to kill me. Donna's going to kill me for not keeping this in hand. Donna's going to kill me.
What? They're busy with family. We're fine. They may never even see any of this. It's just us. It's just like 3 of us here, 10, 20, whatever. Our tens of viewers, the diehard crazy people, the people that are out there every week doing this thing. And I love you all. We all do. And I just want you to know that I am very appreciative of it. You know what? We're not going to be on here much longer anyhow. But I did want to at least come on and say Merry Christmas and all that stuff. And you know what? I'm doing a show New Year's Eve. Come hell or high water, I'll be here one way, shape, or fashion. I don't drink, so we don't have to worry about that right now, especially with these new meds. Definitely can't do it. That could be a train. That might be worth a whole show all by itself. Charlie has a beer on new meds. Watch what happens.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Charlie. Don't do it. Don't do it, Charlie.
I'm afraid of that. Trust me. Maybe back in some earlier years, in the 80s, we'll say that's a safe bet. Can't get me for stuff I did in the 80s, right? I don't know.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. So, back then, I'm just saying, whatever. Shooters and meds sounds like a party. See, look, this is the kind of support we get, and this is what I love these guys. Jim Wall said he's going to be on the road for New Year's Eve. Just so happens New Year's Eve is on a Tuesday night. It's my normal day off. Kind of good for me. I'm just saying it was fabulous. This
You're welcome, Charlie.
Right? Because Thanksgiving's Thursday. I go back to work on Thursday nights. So we had Thanksgiving dinner and then we went to work. Christmas this year is on a Wednesday. New Year's is on a Wednesday. Yay, me. And then I decided to take extra time off in between Christmas and New Year. So it all worked out anyhow. But I'm going back to work on the second week. It's Thursday right after the New Year. So that's the thing. That is if Ida still takes me. And if not, then I'm going to be OTR crying in the cold, trying to figure out how to run across the bottom because I ain't going above I-40. You're muted. You have no sound.
Lord, I thought I touched it. It's not okay. Anyway, listen. So the drivers that are stuck back out, right? Because they had their PTA set to like the first, the second, whatever, right? They started planning them. And I was like, what on earth in the night? This is they're being extra this year. They are. So I just pulled everybody back in and was like, you can't have these. No.
That's funny. You better throw me out. It'll be hilarious. Because, that money thing, I'm just saying, protect that P&L, yo. You know what you do? You know what I'll do? I'll move my PTA out.
I know what to do. They don't bother you. And click, know exactly what to do and how to fix that because I am a snazzy and smart line of operations.
Yes, you are.
Person.
I don't say that because I work with you. I literally look, you guys just don't even know how much I truly dig this woman. I call her sister lady. I'm just saying there's a reason for that. And yeah, She makes me happy. Just saying.
I don't know. Rosie makes me happy.
You see how she is. This is why I know she's like sister lady to me, because my blood sister, just like that. She's like, I'm the favorite in the family. I'm like, you're adopted. We don't even know who your daddy is. Whatever. But it's not true. But I like to tell her that, and she does not appreciate when I say things like that. And I'm like, at least I was planned. Mama got my daddy drunk just so she could have me before she threw him out the house. True story. That really happened. No lie. That happened. She's like, I'm going to divorce this best, but I need another baby and I don't want to deal with another man. So I'm going to get him liquored up and take it from him. And this is what you got. Poor mama. She didn't even know what she's getting into. Oh, Lord. She says she loves me. I tell people that I know I'm her favorite. She says, you're both my favorite. You're my favorite son. She's my favorite daughter. I said, but I'm your favorite child. She's like, I didn't say that. I said, you don't have to. I can see it in your eyes. And she's like, you need to stop. And I'm like, but Mom, I know the truth. You're not allowed to lie to me. I don't lie to you. You don't lie to me. I'm your favorite son. If I said it, it must be true. And I said, not just your favorite son, but I'm your favorite child. I gave her the least amount of problems. I gave her my own kind of brand of problems. Trust me. But I learned from watching my sister screw up repeatedly, and I learned how not to get caught doing those stupid things because my sister did all the stupid things and got caught. So I learned how to get around all those things. Whatever. I'm going off on something that's probably telling too much, but whatever. It tells a lot about me. It's real. It happened. It made me who I am.
I was my grandmommy's favorite.
See?
I was most loved and praised,
I'm just saying, I tell my grandchildren, and no lie, you are my favorite Jordan, you are my favorite Victor, and you are my favorite Genevieve of all time. And with Jordan, like, I don't know another Victor and I don't know another Genevieve, but with Jordan, I know several. And he is by far the best of all of them. I'm just saying. I'm not disparaging anyone, but he is absolutely the best of all of them. So that is no lie. And yeah, it's a thing. No, see, DJ says you got away with a lot because you were the baby. Mom let you get away with more. No, she'll tell you. She was actively monitoring me and had people in the neighborhood keep an eye on that. And I was aware of what was happening. I just learned to work the system. And okay, so I was like, you guys know, I calculate and plan. I run numbers and I think of the possibilities in business and things like that. Guess what? I did the same thing in my younger years. And I would say, okay, if I do thing 1, I'm going to get grounded for 4 days. If I do thing 1 and thing 2, it's going to jump up to 7 days. But if I do thing 1, thing 2, and come home super late at night, way past my curfew, I'm still only going to be grounded for 7 days. You know what? Let's go for the week. Let's do 1, 2, and 3, and we'll make it happen. And I would come home, and she's like, well, what is wrong with you? And and you're grounded for a week. And I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Charlie, I don't even know why you're playing. I may or may not have gotten everyone in town knew my grandmother and respected her. And I may or may not have gotten driven home in the back of a police car in lieu of the arrest. But the officer knew my grandmother. So he showed up at her house. And as soon as she walked herself out on those stairs, I wouldn't get out of the car. I told him to arrest me and to please not leave me there. I was a grown woman at that time. I wasn't doing it.
I was
No.
a child. I want to say 10. I can't remember exactly what stupid thing I was doing this particular time. But yeah, Popo brought me to the house. And I'm like, no, let's go to jail. I'm ready to go to big boy jail. You could put me into prison. Not juvenile hall. No, you could put me in San Quentin. I don't even care. That would be far safer than taking me to my mom. Please don't do that. They're like, whatever. And they knock on the door. And I'm like, please don't let me go in there. Please don't leave. And you know what my mama told him? She said, you need to take this child away from this door right now. You better go do something, do your job. And I'm like, yeah, see? Stupid. And they're like, no, ma'am, it wasn't that serious a thing, but we thought we should bring him home. I'm like, man, you trying to get me killed. He's like, it's not that bad. I'm like, bro, just take me to jail. It'll be better if I just go to jail. I'll be a 10-year-old doing life. Whatever. That's cool, man, because I don't want to face my mama. I love her to death, and she didn't beat me. And I knew some things were going to happen that should never happen, and I didn't want to happen. And that Popo's like, oh, it's not that serious, kid. And I'm like, look at my mama. Look at her eyes. That is crazy lady right there. That is straight. I am in fear for my life, sir. You have a civic duty to protect and serve me right now. And I'm telling you, protect me by serving me up in prison. And he's like, no, you're going home. And my mom's like, you better get him out of here. You just don't even know what's going to happen. I'm going to fix this child, because now I got to do something because he did something stupid and he got in the police car and you're bringing him here. He's like, this. She's like, this is not setting a very good example for him. He thinks that if he just messes up, you're just going to bring him home to his mama. And I'm not the one to do that with, because I don't believe that that's how things should happen. If you took the time to put him in your police car, you better take time to handle the whole process. And I'm like, yes, sir, please do what she said. This would be much better and safer and healthier for me. And at that point, he said, it's not that big a deal. Ma'am, take your son. And she snatched me up. I don't even know by what part of my body. I just levitated from between the two officers that were there and flew in the door. And then she took me upstairs. I got to tell you, my mama never whooped me up to this point in time in my life, because I didn't do stupid things to get whooped. I mean, I was very calculated and I knew what the punishments were, but this was going to be something special. And that woman got, look, Generation X, all you people that are going to be like, oh my God, you were child abuse. Shut up. Shut up, you millennial, whatever. Just shut up. My mama got the belt, and it was a man's belt. I don't even know how she had a man's belt to start with. I don't know where it came from. And I'm like, where you get a man's belt from, mama? That's not my belt. And she's like, shut up. And she put me on her lap like a baby and gave me 5 licks. And okay, this was one of those stupid moments. She gave me the first 5. I didn't cry out. I didn't squirm. I didn't cry. Not a tear on my eye. Not a whimper. And I looked up at her. And she said, oh, it's like that. I tell you what, to this day, I'm 53 years old. We're talking well over 40 years ago. I remember every damn lick of those last 5 I took, because they were memorable. I assure you, they were something special. And it told me, don't you ever let the popo bring you back to mama again. You better die doing whatever it was you were doing if there's popo involved. Just die. Don't go. No, never do that again. I learned to run fast. That's what I did. I ain't gonna lie. I was running. Woo! After that, popo showed up. Woo! Everybody knew so my friends called me Speedy growing up, because every time the popo showed up, all you saw was a dust cloud and my little legs going, woo, I was gone. People learn. They absolutely learn. Do not question if Charlie runs. When Speedy breaks out, just break. Don't look around. Don't ask what just happened. Just go. Meet up where we meet up. And you know who never got brought home by the popo again? This guy right here. Only time I did get arrested when I was, 18, 19, 20, had to be 18. And I got arrested for drunk and disorderly at the LA Coliseum when Bigfoot the monster truck, during a record jump attempt, it was and a fight broke out, and I was trying to break up a fight. I wasn't even drinking. I was trying to break up a fight, And the popo came in, snatched me up by my collar, and drugged me away. Arrested me and my friend that was younger than me, and arrested us for being drunk and disorderly. And my friend, he was drunk as hell. I mean, he was like, "Come on, popo, I'll fight you." And I'm like, "Good Lord, man, will you shut up?" And then the popo started calling me Ivana. And another, it was the three of us that got arrested because my friend's like, he was a little older than me. And I was actually driving his vehicle that night for him and all our friends. And he kept telling the cops things stupid like, "Hey, I'm a homeowner. I'm only 21. I'm a homeowner. You work for me." And I'm like, "Bro, shut up." And he's like, "Ha, and so they started calling him Donald Trump in the paddy wagon we were in. And they looked at me, and I was a little smaller and skinnier, and they called me Ivanka or Ivana. I don't know, whatever her name was. You know who I'm talking about. Way back in the day.
You're killing me.
And I was like, "Well, that's not right." And then when they gave my friend that was stupid drunk his own private cell to go roll around and pass out and puke in, right? You know what I got put in? All like 122 pounds at 6'3". The drunk tank with all them big drunk people. I'm stone cold sober. And I was like, "Well, this ain't right." And as they're walking me to the drunk tank, I'm looking around. I'd never been in a cell before in my life at that point, right? Because I ran, right? And I'm like walking in, I'm like, and they get the cell door and they open it up and they say, "Hey, everybody, we want to introduce you. This is Ivana Trump." And I'm like, son of a, what kind of nonsense? And they pushed me in and closed the door. That drunk tank was awful full. There was nowhere to sit. So, like the smart young man that I was, I walked over to the corner and sat on the floor. I wasn't messing with nobody. I was too small to mess with anybody. People look at me and I'm like, "What? Just sitting on the floor. Leave me alone. I ain't drunk. I could whoop a drunk guy." I'm just saying. Establish dominance from the corner.
Establish dominance from the corner.
On the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a lot of laughter in that drunk tank that night. Well, you know how I am, Ida. You know, I turned that crowd quickly, and we all became friends before I got out of there. And I left before every one of them because we were having a good time and laughing. And the popo decided, you know what? He is not really getting anything out of this experience because he's in there joking and laughing and having a good time. Let's get him the hell out of here. He's like in there entertaining the whole damn drunk tank. Because I was just talking to people. You know how I am, Ida, and people around me that know me, they know what I'm like. And I was like that back then because I was a talker and I was a little nervous. So I was really talking. And they turned me loose. And they told me, "Hey, your friend's going to be here for at least another 8 hours. So you better drive that hour and a half back to your neighborhood and take your people home," because they were having a party in the police parking lot outside the jail. All our friends were out there drinking with a whole big crowd. It was like half the damn stadium out there in the crowd having a party, and the police outside the jail. And they're like, woo, drinking and having a good time. And we're sitting inside, and I guess all those people were waiting for people to get pulled out of the drunk tank. And so we left. I drove home, show up at my buddy's house. And I had to tell his mom, he got arrested. They said he's not going to be out for another 8 hours. I'll go back and get him later. And like 20 minutes after I'm still talking to his mom, and he pulls up in a taxi cab, an hour and a half taxi ride in LA. Dude had a couple bucks in his pocket, didn't have quite enough, had to come in. "Mom, I need some more money to pay the taxi." He's like, "Why you leave me, bro?" I'm like, "Bro, they told me you weren't going to be out for another 8 hours. I wasn't sitting there. I ain't stupid." He's like, "You took my truck." I'm like, "Yep, I had the keys." Anyhow, that was a valid experience. Just saying. That's the only time I've been arrested. I know everybody thinks I've been arrested like 12,000 times. Never happened. Wasn't prosecuted because I was stone cold sober. But you know what? That sucks though, because it shows up on my record to this day. Drunk and disorderly, not prosecuted. So I can't even dispute her to get it removed. I had the FBI ask me one time, "Hey, what's this charge?" Because I was, doing some background stuff for my private investigator license back in the day. And they're like, "What's this?" I'm like, "I was trying to break a fight. Stupid LAPD arrested me.
What's it
So,
like growing up in LA, Charlie? What was that like?
so I made a lot of stupid decisions, right? Because I came from what could be technically considered middle class in my later years, right? And we started out at the bottom end, and mom busted her hump to climb out of that hole to be the below that poverty line and all that stuff. And she worked really hard to get us up out of that and into a good neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. And I made stupid choices and decided I'm going to be a thug. I want to live the thug life, yo.
But they said like California in the 90s was like beautiful. It was like one of the best times to live there.
I
Like
left
it was.
in the 90s. In fact, I left
Oh,
because I split when Rosie and I split when we were about 17 and moved to Oregon to go be grown folk. And then I went in the army. My son was born in August of 91, and I started basic training in January of 92. And then I haven't lived in California since I was like 17. No, that's not true. Because we lived there. We actually moved back down there from Oregon while Rosie was pregnant with our first child, Richie, and stayed with her parents because her mom wanted us to be there because she wanted to be around the grandbaby when he was born, all that kind of stuff, which is cool. But yeah, and then at 20 years old, I enlisted and we moved to North Carolina because I was stationed at Fort Bragg, not this Fort Liberty crap that it's called now, whatever. Ask my daughter where she's born. She'll tell you Fort Bragg. She don't even know what Fort Liberty is. I'm like, I don't either.
they changed that. It's so ridiculous. But don't get on the tangent. Don't do it, Charlie. Don't do it, Charlie. Charlie, keep it to yourself. Charlie,
trigger me. Anyhow, 70s and 80s in California were pretty fun. It was pretty enjoyable. You know what? You didn't have to worry about getting shot in the 70s so much, right? I mean, there was the occasional thing, but it wasn't like a thing like it turned into in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, then it just got crazy. I mean, look, if you had a problem, you knuckled up, you might hit someone with a stick or a trash can, and you might even hug it out afterwards. I mean, like legit, you might even just like, bro, that was good. And you're like, let's move on. Right. It was kind of a crazy thing. And I ran around with thugs and graffiti artists. Was the crowd that I ran around in. And, my people were nonstop action. NSA, for you artists out there, nobody's ever going to know what the hell I'm talking about, but whatever. And we hung out in West LA, and that's what we represented was that thing. And we had kind of a good time. And I don't regret the life. I regret some choices, right? But without those choices, I wouldn't be me now. Let's be real. And that would be weird because I can't imagine me any other way. Yeah, Mom, why are you on this camera, Mama? I need you to pay attention to me, Mama. Why are you looking at your phone? It's not time to look at your phone. You're home. Pay attention to me.
such a nerd,
Why is
dude.
this man talking so much? What is happening on your phone, Mama?
Standing on the armrest, trying to come over, dude. He says it's his time. It's time.
DJ Bull, I'm going to scroll back to some of these comments. DJ Bull said, Mama say, wait till your father gets home. I knew I was in for it when I would hear the carpool and Mom would tell Dad what I did. That's when I would have to go hide, right? I didn't have that. I honestly got whooped once by my mama, and that's all it took. And it was, 10 years old, 9 years old, something like that. And I was like, good Lord. DJ said also kids nowadays couldn't handle growing up when we did. No safe space, bubble wrap, right? What's next for the bubble wrap and Fort Safe Spaces, right? Ismail, West Side, what's up? That's what I'm saying. West Los, stop it. Yeah, I still call it Fort Benning. Exactly. I don't even know the other. Wait, okay, I do. It's Moore. It's Fort Moore, I believe it is now. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm interested to see if the incoming president, he said he's going to change all those forts back to their original names. I'm curious to see if that happens. It does, at this point, it seems like a tremendous expense because they've rebranded everything. Now they're going to have to rebrand. Well, although maybe maybe they still have all the old stuff and they won't have to get new stuff with the old new branding.
Fort Benning, though, you know what? Those barracks, I had a friend that was stationed there in the early 2000s, and they still had like lead paint in the stairwells and stuff. Like I was going up to her dorm.
I can tell you the flavor of the lead paint in those barracks because I know. And the
She
floors,
said,
fabulous.
just like, don't touch it. It's lead paint.
Oh no. We sweated with it. We rubbed it on and helped just really just it was good to clog your pores so that the camouflage didn't clog them, right? Because who knows what was in that camouflage stick paint. And if that stuff was cold, you just rip your face off trying to get it to stick to your face. I'm just saying. But whatever, it was all good. Look. On the RTD going to Culver City. Look, I did that from West LA to Culver City because we lived after Mama moving on up. She got a condo down there behind the Fox Hills Mall in Culver City. I'm just saying, and we was up in that high dollar area for me anyhow. Whatever. It was a condo, big old. It was a whole block, a whole city block with our condominium complex with the gates and stuff. And Rosie's brother one day, he Rosie and I were dating for a while, and I talked to him on the phone. He said he was going to come get me, and he was talking all kinds of nonsense. I'm like, look, bro, I live in a security building. I said, but I'll tell you how to get in. What you do is you pull up to the gate and you stand, you hop into the first balcony because it doesn't have a gate on the balcony. If you reach up, you can grab hold of mine because I'm on the second floor. Feel free to come on in, bro, because as soon as you poke your stupid face over my rail, I'm going to fix you. True story, really happened. He didn't show up. You know why? Because I told him exactly what was going to happen. He was smart enough to realize maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm just saying, I don't like that guy to this day. He don't like me. We're good. That's one out of all them. She got like 1,000 brothers. He was the only one. He was the oldest. He thought he was something. I still tell him he's garbage, but whatever. That ain't right. That's not nice. He got deported. Whatever. I didn't. Can't come back either because he's a bad person. And if he does, I'm going to whip his ass and report him. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to smack him around and then I'm going to get him deported. That's because that's the way it should go. I'm just saying. I'm getting myself so much trouble tonight. This is not even good. DJ Bolin, you're muted again.
No, I was telling you, Charlie, don't go on a tangent. Don't do it.
I can't help it. Trump is the best troll telling Prime Minister of Canada it's the 51st state. Now he's saying he wants the Panama Canal in Greenland. Oh, God, that's just funny stuff right there. I'm just saying. Oh, Lord. Oh, where are we going to go with this? You know what? You guys are great. I don't even know how you guys put up with me. I don't even know. Look, can you imagine? Rosie's been dealing with this for 38 years.
I tell her all the time, blink twice if you need help.
Right? And then I stare at her. She's like, I'm like, what was that? She's like, what? Anyhow, right, Canada's 51st state. That was funny. Look, Canadians don't have the sense of humor you think they have. And they don't like when you call it Canada in one of their truck stops on their Thanksgiving. And they don't like when you refer to them as Canadians in one of their truck stops on their Thanksgiving. But I was smart.
But it's perfectly fine to go to Massachusetts and refer to them as massholes.
Exactly. They appreciate it. They're like, well, yes, we are. The wonderful Canadian people. Luckily, I was smart enough to actually have my food in front of me already because I'm a thinker before I started on the jokes. And they were looking at me, and I was like the only American in the truck stop that day. It was weird. And they're like, are you serious right now, eh? And I'm like, what do you mean? Canadian? They're like, you know, there's a lot of empty space out here, eh? And I'm like, I'm pretty fast. They're like, you got a lot of practice running on ice? I'm like, This is a fine country. I don't even know what you're talking about. DJ Bolin said, I have a sense of humor for being Canadian. Look, DJ, can you imagine me though, sitting in like a flying J up there in Canada, and I'm just picking on them on your guys' Thanksgiving, because why not? Let's just be real and have a good time. I don't even know what's going on. They were not amused. However, before it was over, we were all laughing and joking and having a good time. Just saying. It's the A. Callie Hustler, are the new Volvos going to contractors? I believe there are 5 that were made available to the contractor division. Yeah, it was cool. We'll see what happens. You would be fine. Look, I had a good time up there, man. I used to love running Canadian loads. They made me happy. And that was the place where, it's still like trucking up there. Well, it was the last time I was there, when people were talking on CBs. And if you pulled over, somebody pulled over to check on you and say, hey, man, you got problems? You need any help with anything? It's baffling to me. I've told the story before. I had 3 truck drivers pull over because I pulled over to try and figure out how to make the crossing down through Vancouver, because I had never come down through there. And I came over from the other side of the country, across all the bottoms, and was coming back down that way. And so I'd never made that crossing. So I wasn't sure how to get there, what the best route was. So I pulled over this big wide spot, and a guy pulled up and he's like, hey, you got problems? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty good. He's like, are you sure, buddy? I can, if you need something, let me know. Don't you know? And I'm like, that's cool. And then another guy pulled up and he's like, hey, what's going on, fellas? And I'm like, and he's like, oh, he's an American. He's never been through this crossing. So I was, just going to have him follow me. And I'm like, oh, this is fantastic, guys. They're like, how fast can you go? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a Swift truck. I was a company driver at the time. And they're like, okay, so we'll go 2 miles an hour. I got you. And I'm like, oh no, I can go a little faster than that. And then they started talking kilometers. I'm like, whoa, slow down, bro. I don't even know what you're saying right now. You're speaking another language. I thought you guys spoke English. And they're like, oh, that's funny, eh? And then a third truck pulls up and he's like, hey, fellas, what's going on, eh? And I'm like, they're like, oh, he's an American driver. He's never made the crossing. So we're just going to, and they're like, oh, just make sure you fall in the middle and we'll go to, don't worry. There's a 10% grade ahead with a stop sign at the bottom. Just go slow. You'll be fine. And I'm like, holy crap. What'd you just say? A 10%? What? And it was fun. And I'm like, and I'm pretty sure that was that story. It could have mixed a couple stories there. I don't know. It's possible. I mean, it's only been like, I don't know, 1,000 years. And I, head trauma. Anyhow, we made the run down to the crossing and they're like, okay, Briber, you have a good one. And I'm like, okay, hey. And they're like, yeah, hey. And I'm like, hey. And I made the crossing and it was fantastic. And another time in fact, earlier in that trip, when I was making the whole transcontinental drive, right? I blew a tire out and people pulled over and they're like, hey, we can change your tire right now. You got a spare? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, that's too bad. I can give you one of mine. I'm like, no, man, no. It's a Swift truck and a Swift trailer, bro. I got nothing to give back. And oh no, it's okay. Don't you? I'm like, oh no, they're coming. It's fine. He's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And then a lady tow truck driver showed up and she put my truck up on a block. This is way back early in my trucking career. And she put it up on a block and she popped that tire off without ever touching a lug nut. Put a new one on, sent me on my way. I was gone like 20 minutes. And it was like crazy snowing and ice out there. And I was very impressed by that lady. I'm like, see, women can do anything they want to. And she's like, don't you know, eh? And I'm like, I know. And she's like, and I was like, and something fell on my roof. Hope it was a squirrel. That ain't right.
I had to take all my little squirrel feeders and stuff down because Butters keeps killing them. He went on a mass rampage.
I need a cat that'll kill squirrels, and none of my cats will do it.
You want Butters?
My dogs get them. My dogs are squirrel and possum slayers.
Yeah, Grace keeps getting possums.
They bring me the chunks, and they're like, look, Daddy, look what we got. And I'm like, that's not right. Can you take that somewhere else? That's kind of a greasy mess right there. I don't even know what you're trying to show me right now. What was that thing you're chewing on? With the squirrels, though, get this. So my male, if you give him a squirrel, because maybe sometimes they get shot by a high-power pellet gun and fell out of the sky. I don't know. Because you're not supposed to do that, especially not in town, but whatever. And if he happens to get a hold of one of said squirrels, he will take it and run away and immediately buries it and hides it. And there might have been a time where he was doing so many that he got lazy, and instead of digging a hole, would find a pile of leaves and cover it with leaves. So we started finding these kind of foul leather patches once the leaves were gone, or when I was out there shredding leaves, which made a whole nother kind of spectacular thing. My female, on the other hand, if she got a hold of that squirrel that happened to fall out of the sky with a strange, I don't know, hole that punctured it. I didn't say penetrated. Ha! I got it anyhow. And if she gets a hold of it, and I need to make a note, if it was a male squirrel, she wanted nothing to do with it. If it was a female squirrel, she walked around with that squirrel in her mouth for 3 days. That's pleasant. Like it was her baby. And she would, every time you would walk outside, she'd like, and she'd bring it to you. She'd like, look at this. And it was just as rigid as this thing right here.
Nah. Butters eats the front half and he leaves you the butt in the garage.
It's funny you say that. So, my dogs, there was a possum out in the yard one night, right? And they treed it, and it was hanging there doing the possum thing, right? It was using that prehensile tail is what they call it, right? And it, because it slipped, but it caught itself, and it was easily this high above me, right? At least that high above me. And I'm like, well, hello, possum, right? That's where his nose was. And I'm like, you better watch out, buddy. You better figure out how to get up that tree, because these dogs, they're mad. They are not pleased with you being in their yard. And my female looked at me, looked at the possum, and jumped straight up and grabbed it by the face, ran across the yard so fast behind the garage. The male takes off after. By the time I got over there, they literally had split it in two. And so now this thing is doing the zombie thing. And his mouth is like, rawr, rawr, rawr. And my female walks over and walks up behind it and grabs it by the back of the neck. Done. Now, the other end, the butt end, is wiggling. And that's my male's half. And he's like, ooh, ooh, it's moving. Ooh, ooh, don't know. Ooh, ooh, it's going to get me. I'm like, it's the butt end, dummy. And he's like, nah, I'm out, bro. And walked off. And my girl was like, lunchtime. We'll start at that end.
Gracie May has gotten two this year. They decided they wanted to live in the garage, and she pops their head right off.
Oh my God. Oh, I missed some comments here. Let's see. Good Lord. The road signs in French got me. Yeah, what road signs? I didn't look at them. None of them made any sense to me anyhow. It didn't matter. KPH, what? KMPH, what? I don't even, what? I'm like, what's miles per hour? And they're like, A? And I'm like, whatever. So this is what happens when Jeff's not around. It's true. I get unleashed and I get in trouble, and I'll be talked to at some point about it all. You can buy bird seed that squirrels won't eat. It has spices in it. I think you know what? I have Florida squirrels. They like it spicy because they're used to everything out there in the world trying to kill them. Like birds are eating them. Florida squirrels, they know. I bet they like it. They're like, is that all you got? Got any ghost peppers? Give me some of them. I heard those are good.
They will. They'll eat your peppers, your spicy peppers right out of your garden, man. They don't care.
Squirrel is good eating. I love squirrel meat. Okay. I'm just not even going to get into that. Because you know what? I think they're disgusting rats. And I don't think it gets cold enough in Florida to really eat these squirrels. Because it comes back to that escargot thing where you need to cook the damn parasites out them sucker. And if you got to cook the parasites out of something, I'm thinking I'm passing unless it's dire need, right? I'm just saying. And then I'm cooking that sucker on a hot flame with a stick.
You freeze it first.
Blackie
you freeze it first. You freeze it. Kills it.
Look, look, I just saw a story recently. They just brought back an amoeba or something that was like a 12 billion years old, and that thing started replicating. They thought it out, it started replicating. It's going to grow an alien head, and dinosaurs are going to come out of its butt, and we're all going to get eaten by T-Rex.
Velociraptors.
Chickens are going to turn on us. DJ, wait till the meds kick in. Right? This is without look. So I took it, but it's only half a pill, and this is normal on Café Bustelo. Just saying, and a cigar and a couple of Mountain Dews, and I've been kind of chilling out most of the day, so I had all my energy saved. I was kind of feeling like I needed a nap right before the show, and I thought, nope, I'm just gonna let it all out, because after the show, I'm gonna be a train wreck. I mean, more so than what you guys see. You guys just don't even understand. This is my good time, my fun time. I think we're in the twilight zone, Jim said. Imagine, if you will, a man and a woman on your video screen. One of them squeezing a weird-looking football. The other one is raving like a...
Listen, they're both looking at me. Listen.
Oh, look, you better stop that, because you're going to get some others out here going crazy. Oh, man.
George May has just had an accident in the TV stand.
That's all right, you know. Whatever. Pardon me while I like this. That's the time you're supposed to talk, Ida. You're supposed to fill in while I'm doing things.
Trying to mute it so nobody has to listen to the squeaky squeaky with George, because he's all over here with it in his mouth. Like, a week.
That is good video right there. I don't care who you are. I don't care what they say. They don't like it. They can tune in again and watch it happen over and over. I can't wait to see what our BAs do with this video, because they've been creating some shorts, and I'm really wondering what they're gonna dig out of this one.
Dude, I'm telling you, there was a moment where you were talking about like walking into the cellar or whatever, and I was like, oh my God, Charlie looks like a Muppet.
I can't wait to see what the VAs do with that. If anything comes out of this at all, they're like, this is all just useless. Nothing is usable. I'm thinking there's some comical moments that could be put out there.
I'm telling you, that specific one where you're doing you look like a Muppet.
I don't guide them. I let them do their job. I'll stay in my lane, and I just talk on the dang camera now. I used to do some editing stuff for that stuff, and then Donna started doing it, and then now we have a VA that does it, and I'm just like, have at it. Fancy, just saying. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff coming up in the new year, guys. We're working on another podcast that we are going to be collaborating with another entrepreneurial coach guy. You know, our dude, Josh. Love that guy. And he's smart enough to avoid things like this on a Christmas Eve and do the family thing. And just like Jeff is smart enough to be not here. But Ida, I'm not saying you're not smart. I'm saying that you are brilliant. Ride or die, yo. Ride or die. You know,
it was a well thought out choice.
Look, Ida knows this. And she tells everybody she loves Rosie more. That's fine. But Ida knows that if she needs bail money, then I'm probably willing to be the guy that's right next to her that needs bail money as well. So don't call me, because I'm probably going to be in the cell there too. So we're going to use our collective brains and do some braining and be like, let's call Rosie and Baby D. And those two little tiny brown women are going to break us out.
Call Baby D first. She has a rich husband.
Oh, there you go. then they ain't got to get violent and go
Mhm.
brown lady on people. I'm just saying, because that could be tragic. They're both like 3'9", and
They
they
say
will.
they wear size 3 baby gaps. It's size 3 baby gaps that they wear. Their shoes come from Build-A-Bear.
They're like, and the guy's like, what the hell's happening down there? I'm just saying, whatever. That's not a visual anyone needed. Yeah. You know what? I think we're gonna kill this thing, Ida. We're gonna call it a wrap because it's just gonna get deeper and darker the more that I go. I'm gonna go spend a couple minutes with the kids before we run them off into their holes. I mean their bedrooms, and tie them into their bunks. I mean, tuck them in gently because we love them so much, and all that kind of stuff. And then let the elves do the work stuff that has to happen. And I'm going to probably sit around and just point at people and be like, that looks crappy. Do it again. And they're going to be like, here, bro, do it. And I'm going to be like, what? I'm smoking a cigar and drinking Cafe Bustelo.
Sounds like a game plan. It does. Sounds like a game plan. I'm going to.
Rosie went on a beer run, so that could all be thrown out the window already. I'm just saying. You guys, Merry Christmas to everybody. We're going to be back here next week. Ida, thank you so much for coming in here and hanging out with me. It means a tremendous, a lot. And thank you so much. And you guys for tuning in. Seriously, thank you so much. We will see you here New Year's Eve. I'm going to be doing this thing again. Who knows who's going to be here? You know what? If you want to come on the show on New Year's Eve, like I said last week, send me an email, charlieman.cc@gmail.com. You can find that email address in the show description for this show. Send me an email. Say, hey, man, I want to be on the show. And I can send you a link and you can come pop in the show and you could be on the hot seat like I is right now. Or you could be directing me down dark, deep holes that will get me in trouble. Who knows? Jeff, he'll stop it. Maybe.
It's a thing.
It is. It's a thing. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you for spending some time with me and Ida and all of us. And if you guys are out on the road, be careful. Please be careful. There's a lot of nut jobs out there. Take it slow. You know what? This is one of those times that I'll actually say, get out and look. I don't say it a lot. These next couple of days are the days that I would absolutely say that to everybody, because there's weird stuff going on out there and people are creeping and they're not of the right mind.
Everybody be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful.
Say it again.
I said, everybody be careful. Be careful. Be careful. There's so many people on the road. The interstates are ridiculous.
All right, everybody. You guys seriously be safe. Nobody look after each other. Nobody's looking after us but us. You guys, I love you all. And we'll see you next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, right here doing the same thing. You guys be safe, have fun, and watch this because